Hello, good morning, everyone. Let's start this morning with a wonderful quote. Winning doesn't always mean being first. Winning means you are doing better than you have done before. Hope you all are safe and fine. I just want to introduce first mytrustedtutor.com. It is a marketplace where we help people in this world of education discover one another. Our mission is to make quality education available easily and make it affordable to all. On behalf of mytrustedtutor.com, it gives me an immense pleasure to invite and welcome Shantanu Bisnoy sir to be a part of our webinar. We express our gratitude to you for accepting our invitation and taking out your precious time to address our participants. He will speak on the topic how to use Classroom. He is a confident, dedicated, and organized person with strong soft skill who is able to perform all the duties required to handle the academicians as well as administration. Now, everyone, you have a golden opportunity to learn how to create a class and add students how to use Google Classroom assignments. Now, I would like, sir, you can take over.
So this is Shantanu Bishnoi, and I'm currently working at BLM Academy School, Haldwani, Uttarakhand. So at BLM, I'm looking after the administration as well as academics. I'm also working as an acting principal over there. So nowadays, you people know that online education has become a very important part in our life because due to all the pandemic conditions you already aware with. So here's an opportunity for you all people. So I'll be telling you about a Google Classroom, right? And I'll be telling you how to make a classroom, how to add assignments over there, and I'll be giving you a small tutorial about it. So first and foremost thing which you require for a Google Classroom is a Gmail account. You all need to have your Gmail IDs with you because Google Meet is a product of Google only, right? So I'll be sharing my screen with you all and so that you can have a look over it. So first of all, you need to enter into your email ID, right? And second step is you just watch my cursor over here. This is the cursor. I'll take my cursor to this 9 dots nearby settings. So you all need to click on that option. A drop down menu will come. What you need to do is to go down and find the classroom option. Here you can see the classroom option available, right? Then the second step is you need to click on that and it will take you to the classroom. Now see, you might be able to see the different classes over here. This is the classes which I have already created, but for the very first time you'll be seeing a blank page over here, right? So I'll just give you a demo how to make an classes first, right? So all you need to do is just you need to go to the plus icon. This is the plus icon, right? Near the 9 dots, and you need to click on that. So you will be seeing two options available: join and create class. So the join class is basically for the students, right? So when you are going to invite the students, they will join, they will click on join and they can further perform the activities whichever they are required to do. Now as a teacher, what we'll do, we will click on create class, right? So here we go. An option will be available over there which will tell you about certain descriptions, right? You need to accept it and click on continue. Now again, it will show a box in front of us. This is, you can just consider it as it like your classroom, a virtual classroom. What you need to do, you need to add name to your class. Suppose I'm taking class 12th. This is just an hypothetical name. 12th. You can enter any section. Suppose it is A, and any subject like I add physics. Then you can add room number. It's always better to start with one room number because when you will be adding further classes, then it will be very easy for you to identify which room number you created first, right? So I'll just put 1. Then the next step is you need to click on this create option, which is at the bottom right of the screen, this one. So just need to click on that. Now you can see your class will be created. I'll just show it. See, this is your class. This is the face of your class which is created, right? So whenever you will be inviting the students to your Google Classroom, what they will be seeing? They will be seeing this page. This page will be available to them. So this page is also having much importance. Why? I'll tell you. See, this is the first page of your class. So obviously you can change its theme from this button. This is the theme option. I think this is visible to you all. Ma'am, everything is visible?
Yes, everything is visible.
Okay, fine, fine, great. So you need to click on theme if you want to change certain themes. Like I'll just click on this. It will show me some of the themes which are preloaded in Google Meet. So I can select any one of them. Suppose I select this one. I click on that and I need to click on select class theme. So I do so, and this theme has been added over here. So in this way, you can decorate your class. The second thing is if you want to add any photograph, suppose if you are having a photograph with your students, with your colleagues, and anyone, and if you want to add that on your page, what you need to do, just below the select theme option, there is an option available which is upload theme, upload photo, sorry. So you need to click on that. Similarly, you can select any photograph from this option. That is quite easy for you. You can click on a select photograph from your computer, and it will show you the different, it will take you to your computer photographs. You can select any of the photograph, click on open, and just click on final, select class theme. Now, coming to the next point, these are the very two simple points. Below class 12th, which is written over here, you can see this one. You can find a class code. This is the most important part of your Google Classroom. So you can also see a box in front of it. If you click on that, this class code will become large. So always you need to select it and copy this class code. You need to select and copy this, right? This is the very important part. Now we have created our class. We have given a face to our class, and we have also copied the class code. The basic things we have done. Now, the important part is we have to add certain assignments, or certain, we want to add any files, any images, or any links to our classroom so that students, or so that your colleagues can access it. So what you need to do, you need to click on share something with your class option, which is just below your class name. So you need to click on this share something with your class, right? And this will take you to this option. I have already written the name class 12th A, right? What you need to do, suppose I want to add any file for my colleagues. So what I'll do, I'll just write over here file, F-I-L-E, file I have written. Then this is just a title. This is very important to mention a title, because whenever you are sending some information to anyone, he should know or she should know what what content you are sharing with them. So for example, currently I'm sharing a file with them. So I'll write over here a file. Then I need to, if I want to add any file, then what I need to do, I need to click on this option, which is just below this. This is the
Sorry,
add
but your
option.
volume is going up and down.
Am I
I thought
audible now?
having a problem, but I saw someone
Hello?
else also.
Ma'am, you need to mute all the people.
Okay, okay.
Hello?
Okay, I'm muting everyone.
Yes, yes. Ma'am, am I
Oh,
audible?
yeah,
Yeah,
you're
when you said
audible.
hello, it was very much audible.
Okay, great, great. Now what you need to do, you need to click on this add option, right? I'll click on it. It will again give a drop down where you can attach any file from your Google Drive. If you have saved any file in your Google Drive, you can just click on that and select. If you want to attach any link, you can also do that. If you want to attach any file, you can do that. And if you want to add any YouTube video, you can also do that. So for example, I click on file this time. It will take me to the my PC again, PC files. I can select any file. For example, if I attach any file like suppose I add a blank quiz over here, right? I click on it. What I need to do is just an add. It's simply like you send an email to your colleagues, to your students. It's simple. Then you need to click on add. Now you can see this is added. A blank quiz form is added in your classroom. It means that you have added this thing. Now the next important thing is you can add many file as you can. It has a huge capacity. See, let me mention that Google Classroom initially gives you a 15 GB space, right? And if you want more space, you can buy a G Suite license. Then it extends your space. So currently I'm working with a free version. So I'll tell you, this is my a free version. Professionally, I'm using different versions. So now what you need to do, you need to, if you want to add some other files, you can again click on add. You can connect any file. Suppose I add another file just for the sake of information. I'm adding another file. Suppose I add this 2020 parents guide. I just click on it. I need to add it. It is added again. So now you can see two files I have attached for my colleagues, for my students. Now the next step is you need to click on post. This is the post option, which is an important part again, because until unless you post it, these two forms will not be available in your class. I just click on post. Now the next step is the classroom. You can see this option. There are four options at the top of your screen. Number one is stream. Number second is
Sir, may
classroom.
you please guide us how we can add link in this column? Link.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
So for that, again, you need, if you want to add any link, you need to click on share something with your class, right? And suppose I want to add a link. I'll click on that. I'll add a title, which is link. Then I'll click on add again. I'll click on link. Now, for this purpose, you need to have a link copied already in your clipboard, right? So for example, this is my link. I just copied it over here and I click on add a link. Now you can see here, this link is added. Ma'am, I think it is visible.
Yeah, it's visible. Sir, but your voice is going low, actually.
Okay. Wait a second, huh, ma'am?
Yeah, now it's okay, actually.
Ma'am, now it's audible?
Yeah, it's audible.
Okay, great. So again, I'll tell you how to add a link over here. So for that purpose, you need to click on an add option. You need to click on a link, and just you need to copy over here any link, whatever you have copied from your clipboard, and just click on add link. It will be added. Then
Okay,
after that,
thank
you
you.
click on a post. So this link is also added in my class, right? You can see these two links I have added. So if anybody wants to join it, they will click on it and they can use it properly.
Okay.
Now we have added our assignments. We have added a link in our classroom. The next step is classwork. This is basically for the students. So if you want to add any classwork for your students, you need to click on this option of classwork. Just need to click on create, and you can add assignments, you can add quiz assignments, you can add questions, materials, right? So for that purpose, suppose I click on assignments. I can write any assignment title. For example, it is again a physics assignment, right? Instructions, I put my instruction, numerical questions. Then again, I can add over here my numerical questions. So important thing is, whenever you are using a Google Classroom, you should have all your data saved in your computer. Whatever files you want to attach, whatever material you want to attach, you should have it. Then all you need to do is click on add. You need to click here and add any file from your desktop. Then in the right hand side section, you can find different classes. You can find here points option. You can change that. This is basically for marking the student. For example, if I want to keep these numerical questions of 10 marks, I'll keep a 10 over here. And if I want to give any due date to my students or my colleagues, so I can do that also. For that, I need to click on due date, and I need to click over here a drop down option, and I can select any date. Suppose I give a date of 15th of July. But that's it. The date is added. You can see 15th July is the deadline to submit this assignment, right? Then at the top right, you can find an option which is assign. So similarly as before in stream option, we have to click on post, and similarly here we have to click on assign. So I just click on assign. So you can see this option, this assignment is created. So for the reference, I'm telling you once again, here in stream option, I have added my files. See, these are the links which I have added, and these are the two forms which I have added, and recently I have added a physics assignment from a classwork option. Now we have done what we have created our classroom, we have added our assignments. Now the next important part is how to join people over here. So this we can do
Sir,
by
if
coming
I'll
to the
say if I'll share something in a stream, student will not be able to see them.
pardon sir.
If I am going to share something in a stream option, student will
Yeah.
not be able to see that.
No, they can be able to see that. I'm telling you that only. See, initially what we are doing, we are just we are
Okay,
creating our
means a
class,
stream also
right?
they can see, and from classroom also they can see.
Of
Classwork
course,
also
they
they
will.
can see.
Of course. See, this is what, and this is just I'm showing you a teacher part. I'll show you the student part also. Here, what you need to do is simply whatever you are adding at the stream, this will be shown to the student, right? Similarly, if you add anything on classroom, that will also be shown to the student. See, this is the physics assignment I have added in the classwork, and when I go back to the stream, you can see it here also that Shantanu Bishnoi has posted a new assignment, that is a physics assignment. So everything will be whatever we are going to post in our class, that the student, our colleagues can easily see. I think this is clear.
Clear.
Okay, fine, great. So let us come to the next very important part,
Sir,
which is
hello.
how. Hello.
Sir,
Yeah.
hello.
Yes.
Can
Yes.
we
Yes.
show what we are teaching online, suppose from the camera of mobile?
So see, through Google Classroom, you can just share the information with the students.
So if
Right?
if I have board in my room, a blackboard,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
writing there and speaking, so that cannot be streamed.
For that purpose, what you need to do, you need to record your lecture and you need to add on this Google Classroom. And if you want to have
Oh,
a live lecture, like we are having a live lecture, for that
yes,
purpose, you need to use Google Meet option,
Google
right?
Meet.
Google Meet. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
sir.
give you a little brief. I'll give a little brief over Google Meet also if you want.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Fine. So I think all are with me till now. So just I'm repeating my things. I've created one class. I have added various, you can say various assignments in my class, which you can see from here. I have added over here, and also I have copied this class code, which is very important. Whose importance I will tell you at the end of the session. Now I'll click on this option, which is the third option, the people one. Right now, this is the most important thing of your Google class. Why? Because from here only you are going to add teachers in your class, you are going to add students in your class. So for that purpose, you need to have their email IDs with you. For example, this is the teacher option. I'm going to add a student. So for example, I click on add option. Right. Let me tell you how to add it. This at the right hand side of the students, this is the student option, and just watch my cursor. There is a add option, invite student option. You need to click on that and just type an email ID of your student. For example, I add any email ID. And after that, suppose you have added numbers of email IDs. If you are going to invite, suppose if you want to invite 100 students, you can add their email IDs, and then you need to click on invite option. For the demonstration purpose, I have added my email ID only. You can add many as you want, right? And after that, I need to click on invite option, which is at the bottom. You can see this. Then you need to click on this. This is the most proper way of inviting a student, by clicking on people and select and sending the email IDs. Now you can see over here in the student section that I have sent an invitation to this email ID. If you will send an invitation to say about 40, 50 or 100 students, it will be shown here only at this section. Now at this point, I want to tell you all the importance of adding a teacher. If you click on this, if you add any email ID over here, for example, I add any email ID. I have added this email ID and I click on invitation. This invitation is sent to the concerned teacher, right? You can see this. Now, the teachers have the rights in your class that they can also post and comment. They can send their assignments in the same classroom. So the important thing is you need not to have many classrooms. For example, I'm a mathematics teacher. I can invite my physics teacher, I can invite my chemistry teacher, I can invite my bio teacher, right? And they will be able to use the same classroom. Need not to have a different classrooms for every subject. Then this is the fourth option, which is of marks. This will come only when the students will revert back to your assignments, whatever assignments you have sent. Now I want to tell you an important thing here. Just go back to the stream options, the initial phase of a classroom, and you can see over here a setting option. See, this is the setting option. That there is a great importance of this option in classroom. I tell you why. You need to click on this setting option. A page will be opened, right? So this will just give you a small display of whatever you have done in your class. This is a class name, class description. If you want to add any description, you can do that. Section, room number, subject, that I have already created. Just go down. You can find a general settings over here. This is the class code, which I copied earlier, right? This is the class code. Now, if you click on this, a drop down option will come. If I click on display, it will be displayed in a big screen. If I click on copy, it will be copied. And the third option is reset. Now, why to use a reset option? This is because suppose I have created a class at 11 a.m. and I have sent invitations to many people. Suppose I have sent invitation to 50 people. Then what happened? Suddenly I realized I have sent a wrong information in this class. I have sent a wrong assignment. Either there are two options. I can also see that only few students have responded till now. So what I'll do, I'll go to the setting options. I'll go to this general one, and I need to click on class code, and I can reset this. So then this code will be reset. It will change, and the students who were sent invitation, now they cannot access their class through the same code, which is this one, 4MOBWB4. They cannot use this code now because I have reset this code. So this is an important setting for you all. And the second important thing is you can just find a option of stream where it is written students can post and comment. Now if you click on this, and the other three options will be available. So this is important because sometimes we don't want the students to comment in our class because it's a public platform, right? Anybody can comment, anybody can post. So if you want to have certain restrictions, you can do that. This is very simple. What you need to do, you can select any other option whichever suits you. Suppose students can post and comment here. Obviously students can post and comment. This is a default setting, and you can change this default setting by students can only comment or only teachers can post and comment. So for example, I click on this, only teachers can post or comment. So in that case, only teachers will be able to comment and only post. That doesn't mean that students cannot submit their assignment. It means students can submit their assignments, but they cannot comment over there. They cannot give any message, or they cannot write any information. They can just select their file and post the work whichever is required from them. Now these are the two informations that are not much required. Classwork on the stream, show condensed notification. If you want to see a notification or not, then here you can do that. You can also hide a notification, so that is not of much importance for you. Now I come back, and whatever settings I have done, I need to save those settings. Until unless I don't save those settings, it will not work for us. So for that person, you need to click on save option. This is the right, at the right top you can find the save option. You need to click on that. It will be saved automatically. Now what I have done, I have created my class. I have given a beautiful theme to it. I have added my assignments over here. You can see this assignments, physics assignment, these two links which ma'am asked me to add. And I have also done two quizzes, two assignments I have added over here. And also I have sent invitation to my students through clicking on people, adding my teacher, adding my students. I have sent invitation to them. Now if I want to add a marks, that would be done later if I when I check the things. Now as a teacher, your work is done. As a teacher, your work is done. As you have sent the invitation to the students, they are going to receive it, right? Now what I'll do, now as a student, I'm going to help you out. Whenever you are going to send an invitation to the students, how students can join the Google Classroom. As a teacher part, we have done, we have created our class, we have added the assignments, and we have sent invitation to our students. Now the next part comes,
Hello.
which is hello.
Yeah, sir. Will you please tell me there is one option just below the student called as action?
Yeah.
What is that?
Where this
Yeah.
action?
Yeah.
So this is the option where you need to add or remove the email. Suppose I want to remove this email, I can do this. I will remove this email from the invitation. This can be done later also. For example, I have sent an invitation and I realize that I've sent to a wrong person. I need to click on action, and a drop down will come. I can remove it, right?
Okay, thank you.
Fine. So as a teacher, our part is done. We have created classroom, we have added added our assignments, and we have sent an invitation to our students. Now I'll tell you, as a student, how can we join the class. So for that purpose, I'm using my another email ID. This is my another email ID. See, you can see email at the first, that Shantanu Bishnoi. This one, I have received a notification that I have been invited to this class, right? So there are the two ways of joining the class. I open this email, I can directly click on join, and it will directly take me to the classroom, right? But there is another option of joining the class. That is how, what I'll do, I'll go back to my teacher's account again, this one, and I'll copy this code, teachers from teacher's account, this one. I'll copy this and I'll share this code only with my students. All you need to do is you need to copy this and send this to the students. You can send it to WhatsApp, right? And they can directly join it. Need not to send invitations to all the people. This is a short version of how to use Google Classroom. If you don't have email IDs of many people, it happens that sometimes you don't have an email IDs of your students, of your colleagues. So for that purpose, you just need to click on stream. You need to copy this class code. You can send this class code to the concerned person, right? And then second option I told you, that you need just to send an invitation. So now I'm adding working as a student. I came to my student ID again. This is the invitation which I received. Either I can join it or I can do another thing. So I'm going to tell you through a code, class code, because for joining, this is a simple way of adding the students. You just receive an email, you need to click on join, it will take you to the place. But if suppose you don't have an email ID of your students, you have just shared a code with them, so how they can join? For that purpose, what students needs to do, student will just open their email ID. They will just open their email ID. What they will do, like teacher, they will also click on 9 dots, this nearby settings. They will click on this. They will also find Google Classroom in the Google products list. This is the Google Classroom form for them. They'll click on this and they will also see a face, a blank page over here, right? This is I have already done, so that's why it is showing you different classes. So for that, for the students, they will also click on create, this plus option, and now they will click on join class because they are the students, they need to join a class. They'll just click on join class and automatically it will ask a class code. I think you can see this class code. It is asking, ask your teacher to the class code, then enter it here. This is the class code which I have shared with my students through WhatsApp. So they'll just paste that class code here and they will click on join. So this is the simple way of using Google Classroom. So they'll click on join. See, it has taken myself as a student to the classroom where I can find that the class. Here, see, students will not going to find any class code over here. They will not find theme and upload photograph option because this is the part done by teacher only. They have the right, students don't have the right of changing the theme. They don't have the right of uploading the photograph. Now, as a student, they can see these options, these whatever posts I have done. They can view it. They can click on it. Suppose numerical questions was this part. What, for example, how they can, I'll tell you how they are they can easily do the work. Suppose I click on this physics assignment work, right? Then I need to click on add or create option, add or create. So I just click on that. Now I can add my assignment from here. See, I'll do my assignment on a paper pen. I'll click those photographs. I'll add those photographs. I'll add those photographs over my desktop. Then I'll click on add. I'll click on file. I'll select my answers from my desktop. Simply, suppose, for example, take a hypothetical situation that this is my answer. I'll click on this. I'll add it. So as a student, my work is this, right? I have added my answer. This is the answer, and I need to click on and in, right? Just click on that. That's it. I have done. Also, they have the option of unsubmit. If they click on this, this will automatically will be cancelled. So this is the only thing here. If I would have given an option of adding a comment, then students can also have added a comment, but this time by default I have changed this setting, so I have kept it only for teachers. So this is it. This is how you can use a Google Classroom and through working as a teacher and as a student. And if you have any if you want to ask anything, you can ask. If you have any query.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yeah. Sir, suppose if a student is
Sir,
entering
your voice is not audible, sir. Could you speak a little louder?
Yeah. Now it's clear?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's clear.
A student is entering into, suppose, my classroom, and whether that student will be able to view my email.
Yeah. See, whenever you are sending an invitation to the student, automatically they will receive it via email, right? So they are going to see the person who has sent this email. So in that case, they are able to see. But when you are sending see, whenever you are sending it through code, you are going to see an interface normally.
Okay.
Right? A common interface will be shown. So this class will come up. So this is it. So it's always better to share things via email because that is the most proper way, I believe. And this is the class code option which I have told you. This is a shortcut way, right? If you don't have a time of selecting all the emails, then you can use this class code. Otherwise, it's always better to use this inviting via email.
Hmm.
Any questions?
How we can stop unauthorized students to enter in my class? Suppose somebody
Sir,
gets the code by some means and he enters
yeah.
in my class.
So for that purpose, what you need to do, if you find anybody, unauthorized person, you can change the class code. I told you, you can reset your class code. You can go to the setting options.
Then
And
again, I
you
have
can,
to send code to all the person.
yeah, see, suppose if you have shared a class code with some students, right? Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. See, once you have sent the class code to the students and they have operated it, but from the very next time that code will be disabled. So the next person who will be entering the class with the same code will not be able to see those things. And if you want,
But again, some of my students can play mischief and share their codes to some their friends.
so that is the, see, that part cannot be stopped by using any app.
But from the screen, can I stop?
Yeah, of course not. Of course not. Only thing is, if you can do it through a email ID, in that way you can send to only selected students. But if you are sharing through a class code, then it will be given to all. And of course, in
Okay.
email ID also student can share that link with the other students. So almost in any video, yeah. Who is, anybody wants to ask anything?
How add Google Forms in Google Classroom?
Yeah. How to add Google Forms?
Google Forms in Google Classroom.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. See, this is an important thing also. So what you need to do, first of all, you need to create a Google form, right? So I cannot create a Google form because it will take a lot of time to me again to create a Google form. It simply I tell you how to create a Google form. You need to click on the drive option. You need to select your drive from 9 dots, Google Drive, right? This is the Google Drive option. You will click on that, and you will make one form. And after that, whenever a form is created, a link is generated, right? A Google link is generated whenever you want. If you create a form, only what you need to do is go to your option again, class, and go to stream, share something with your class. You need to add here a link which is the of the Google form. You can add the link over here and just post it. That's it.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, I have my personal email ID and I have created my Google Classrooms on my school's email ID. But I cannot able to see my classrooms whenever they replied or anything to any job. So I cannot see them or I cannot reply them. Whenever I open that reply, I got the message the classes are not available.
Ma'am, you are using a professional email ID for that purpose?
Yes, yes.
So you are not able to access the class again. You are saying this.
No, I can access the class because I have I can manage my email IDs. But
Okay.
when they send me Gmails or any mail, I cannot access them. I cannot access their Gmails.
Okay, you cannot Acha, okay, great, I got you. See, that email ID is provided by the school, right? That is provided through a G Suite version. So G Suite version is what? It generally gives you a professional email ID created. For example, I'm working at a BLM. I must get an email ID of Shantanu Vishnoi 2009 BLM@gmail.com. This is my professional ID. This is just for the purpose which will solve the purpose of professionalism for your students. It will just give you an email ID
Okay.
through which you can create a Google Classroom. But that class you cannot use for a personal reason, for using an email or ID or else, right? So
Okay.
if you want to do that, you can create your another email ID with a having a professional domain. You can do that. But if you're
Okay.
using through a G Suite, it is not allowed. You cannot use that for your another purpose.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How can we share classwork to the students? Because you have shown how to give an assignment. Instead of that,
Yeah.
how can we share material or some kind of classwork to the students?
Okay, great. I'll tell you. See, I'll again open this classwork. See, ma'am, see the classwork is whatever the classwork you want from the student. You can go to the classwork option. You need to click on create, and you can add any classwork you want. If you want to add an assignment, you can do that. Again, if you want to create a quiz, I click on quiz. I can add any quiz. It is similar to the Google Forms, right?
Okay.
You can just do it, and after that you need to assign. Suppose I do it here. For example, I write over here GK, right? This is my classwork. I have added a title GK. I'll add, suppose any 10 questions I have given to my students. I want to do that. This is just an instructions I have written. Now, if you want to give any classwork to your students, for that purpose, you need to have an image or PDF of that. You will click on add again over here. You can see this, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you need to click on file. Suppose I click on file again, I'll select my things from my desktop and I'll click on assign.
Okay.
So the classwork
Okay,
which
sir.
will be
Got
sent
it.
to
Thank you.
so let me tell you all everything, whatever you are going to add in a Google Classroom, you can do it from your desktop. For that purpose, you need to have you should have your assignments, your PDFs, your images, your videos, everything in your desktop. From there only you can send, or through a Google Drive.
Can we conduct online tests?
Pardon, please?
Can we conduct tests or exams on this platform?
Yeah, of course you can do that. I told you, na, you can create any classwork from here, any assignment or quiz assignments you can create. You can add any title. I have told you, like I told you this GK, for example, I have given again numericals. Let it be in numericals. Then you can add points over here. You can change the point settings. I'll do it. Suppose I have kept of 10 marks, and just this is it. You need to do it. You need to click on assign. This assignment will be sent on, will be posted in my class. So students will see this assignment that sir has given this assignments which carries 10 marks. But let me tell you, this is not where you can do a proper judgment to the students, because they'll be able to access the different things, right? They can copy the answers from various things. This is just for the practice purpose. It is not very not very, you can say it's not very clear, it's not very trustworthy. I think I'm clear on that part.
Yeah. No, I mean live, like how we do in on Socrative, something like that.
Yes, sir, your voice is not audible. Please be a little louder.
I mean live, like how we do on Socrative.
Socrative?
Live classes, you live test you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, sir, actually, see, this option is not available over here. Live class you can't have. For that purpose, if you want to have test, I can tell you another option, which is through Google Meet only. Through this, I must tell you, Google Classroom, you all can share the work with the students, videos, PPTs, PDF. While this is Classroom is made for sharing the things only. You cannot have a live class with Google Classroom. For that reason, you can use Google Meet or Google Hangout. Meet has a capacity of 100 and Hangout has a capacity of 250 students at a time. Any more questions?
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Any more questions? Anybody want to ask any question? One was asking me about the Google Meet. I can give a brief if anybody wants. Otherwise, we should continue with other things.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, sir. The same question actually. It was not clear.
Sir, little louder, sir. Little louder.
Yeah. Can you hear me, sir? Now?
Yeah.
Yeah. If student is entering, I'm adding one particular student. Okay.
Right.
And
Right.
as the student is there in my class, can whether the 9 dots option will be available for the student, and
Of course, sir.
whether so that my personal emails students can view that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No.
No, of course not. See what I'm telling you, sir. First, as a teacher, I'm telling you, I'll give you a short brief. Whenever I'm creating a Google Classroom, I'll be doing it through my own email ID, right? What I have
Okay.
done over there, I have created a classroom. I have sent an invitation. It is similar, quite similar to that when you send an email when you send an email to any person, right?
Okay.
They cannot see your email.
Hello.
They cannot check your email. So
Okay.
in the
That means
same
it is
way,
secure.
yeah, it is 100% secure.
Okay. Thank you.
You
Thank
are
you.
just sending an invitation to the others. You are
One
not
minute, sir. I
allowing
want to
them
ask you
access
something.
that.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Sir, be a little louder, sir.
Yes, sir. I want to ask you whether after creating a class, after two to 3 days, can we open up again the same class and add a new
Of
thing
course,
in
sir.
it?
Of course, sir. Sir, see, let me tell you this. If you have created a class in year 2020, you can
Yes, sir.
use it year 2050 also.
Okay. Okay. Same code only.
So
Yeah, the change it can be
of
changed.
course, same. Nothing is to be changed. In fact, you can reuse the post which you have posted 10 years back, 20 years back. So it is that
Okay.
safe, that
Okay.
secure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you so much, sir. Any more questions?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Yes, I just wanted to ask that if I had to specifically remove one student from the class like during a
Yes,
session,
ma'am.
when the session is on,
Of course,
how
ma'am.
can I do that?
Yes, ma'am. For that purpose, you need to go to your ID, your
Okay.
this class,
Okay.
right? You need to click on people.
Oh,
This one at the top,
okay.
people. You need to click on the action, and
Okay.
you can
Okay.
just remove any email ID from this. You need
All
to
right.
remove that email ID. That's it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Sir, I have one query. Hello, excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I wanted to ask. Suppose if there's an assignment, there's a paper that I want my students to do. So I uploaded on the assignment, and I schedule it. Suppose if I had to take a test today, that is 12 July at 3 p.m. At 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So I've scheduled it, and I've given them a time that it is available until night 9 o'clock. But the paper time limit is 1 hour. So is there any way that I can schedule a test that the minute the students access and whether he completes in an hour or so, is there any way that can be done to time the students on Google Classroom, that how much time they are
Ma'am,
taking? Because my students access it at 3 o'clock, they go through the paper, then they study, and then they write, which I can actually make out when they're answering the question.
ma'am, for that purpose, what you need to do, right? We don't have a particular software for that reason, but I can tell you the how to do it. You just it's better to share the this invitation code at that time when you want your students to perform the test. See, suppose before I want my students to start it by 3, so I have to inform them earlier only that by 2:55 p.m. I'm going to share one email item, one invitation with you all. Immediately you have to start your work. There is no such options available in Google Classroom to schedule a test that the students will be doing it in a particular time frame.
Okay. Okay. Understood. So I'll have to schedule. Matlab, I have to give them the code just before the time starts, and the time limit I have to put it there,
Of
the due
course.
time in the due
Yes,
time limit.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The instructions are to be given. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Understood. Thank you so much.
Welcome, ma'am. Ma'am, any questions?
You are a wonderful speaker. Wonderful. Everything was well. Only occasionally volume was going up and down. Otherwise, too good. If you have any questions, can we have access to your email ID or number?
Yeah, sure. You can have my email ID. First of all, thank you so much for those appreciation words. And you can have my email ID. This is Shantanu Bishnoi 2009 at the rate gmail.com.
Wonderful.
I can write over here so that everybody can see this. I'll just write it over here.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
can you give us a session about Google Docs also? Google Forms?
Ma'am, I could have given it, but if ma'am has allowed me to do so, I was just asked to perform Google Classroom. If ma'am says, I
Okay.
can give that.
Yeah, sir, sure. Why not?
That will work, ma'am?
Yeah, of course, that will work. It will be a great pleasure for us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm going to do it. So this is my email
Okay.
ID. If anybody wants to note it down, this is Shantanu Bishnoi 2009 at the rate gmail.com. And
Are you Mumbai based?
No, no, no. I'm not Mumbai based. I'm at Uttarakhand currently, Nainital.
Oh, wow.
It's a tourist
Hello,
place,
sir.
Nainital. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Just I want to know whether this email ID you are provided, na?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Be a little louder.
Okay. Just okay. No, no. Let it be, sir.
So you can ask. You can, if you want to have any question, you can
Yes.
ask.
Can you send me some more about the apps, free apps where we can download for assessment only for the child, only for the assessment?
For the assessment purpose, right? You can
Yes, sir.
use a free version of testmos.com.
Okay, sir. Testmos I have seen, sir. But if you
Testmos,
want, Testmos I have seen. Yes, sir.
okay. We are
Google
using
Forms.
Testmos also.
Google Forms.
Google Forms are there. Yeah, Testmos is there.
Google Forms. Any other very attractive for the child, at least for the higher secondary children.
For senior secondary and secondary students, see, sir, there are very much these are available online, but currently I cannot remember the name. We have done it before in our school,
Okay,
but
sir.
there were certain restrictions with that. So
Okay.
by far, Testmos, I believe, is the better way. But let me tell you this: these tests are not much reliable
Okay.
because they give access to the students to view other websites at a time. So it's better to have a test through a Google Meet live, where you
Okay.
can ask them, or you can ask them to do it in your paper and send the photographs immediately. What we are doing at our schools now.
Yes, sir.
And we are also planning to use a trusted version of platforms where students are not allowed to use any other websites. For that purpose, you need to buy a licensed software that costs around 80 to 90,000.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. You're welcome. So, just a short, in short, I'm going to tell you about Google Forms, right? So, it's very simple. You need to log into your email ID. Ma'am, everybody is with me. Should I start this?
Yeah, sure, sir. You should.
My screen is visible.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
yes, can
So what we need to do, we need to go to our email ID, right? I have gone to my email ID. Then I'll again click on this 9 dots, and I'll go to my G Drive, that is Google Drive. This is the Google Drive option, right? I click on that. So these are some preloaded forms which I have already done over here. So if you want to make a Google form, you need to go to your G Drive. You need to click on this plus button, which is at the left top. You need to click on that, and at the bottom you can find a more option. I think this is visible. More, and you can find a Google form option over here, right? This is the Google form. You need to click on that. A blank form will be available on your screen. This is just a blank form. This is you can compare it with a normal A4 sheet paper, a plain A4 sheet paper. Now it has certain features. For example, it is at the top you can find and two options: questions and responses. Questions is a part of a teacher. This is the part of a teacher, and when you make this form, you send this form to your students, and when the students reverts it back, now then at that time this response options become activate. it will show how many students have responded. So at the top of the response, you can find numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that will say that this many students have responded to your question paper. So now I'm telling you how to make a Google form. So this is the screen. You need to click on this untitled form. So suppose I am making any form, say, let us say a feedback form I am making, right? So I'll just write over here, feedback form. So this is the title. And if you want to give any description, you just need to click on form description, and you can write, suppose I am writing bank service feedback, right? This is the description. Now you can find these options over here, plus this import questions, add title, add images, add videos, and add sections. See, now I just click on add question. So the space for question number 1 will come. For example, I write first question, let it be key, any question we can write. How do you rate our
Bank
service,
service.
right? So this question, this is a hypothetical question I have written. So I have written a question, how do you rate our service? And now you can select this option. If you want to have a short answer type of answer, you can click on short answer. If you want that your responders give in answers in paragraph form, they can do it. And if you want to give a multiple choice question to them, you can also do it. Abhi filal, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a multiple choice question, because normally we used to have a multiple choice question, so that would be easy for you. I'll click on multiple choice question. I'll click on this option 1. I'll give, suppose, 10 out of 10. Now I click on second, add option. I'll write 9 out of 10. Then I click on third, which is suppose 5 out of 10. So after that, suppose I have added 4 options, 8 out of 10. These are my 4 options which are given to my responders. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. This is my question. Now if I want to make this question mandatory for my responders, what I need to do, I need to click on required option. I just click on it. Then if this form will not be submitted if my responder doesn't answer this question. This is important thing. If you want that every answer should be attempted, every question should be attempted, then what you need to click on this required form, right? So this is it. This is quite simple. In another way, after creating first question, similarly you can click on another this add question. Then you can add second question over here. Any question you can add. Similarly, suppose I add another question. How was the customer service at the resort? Another hypothetical question. Now this time I want my responders to give answer in a paragraph form. I'll click on paragraph, right? I'll go to here, I'll click on paragraph. So it will automatically show a long answer type of question. So this is the way of creating the questions in Google form. Now suppose I have
Paragraph answers can be various, right?
Yeah, of course we can have paragraph, we can have a long answer, we can have a short answer. So for that purpose, what you need to do, you need to click here at the question part. You will get this option over here, paragraph, this dialog box. You need to click on that. You can select anyone, right? Multiple choice, checkbox type, drop down box, and paragraph, short answer, whatever suits you, you can click on that. This time I have clicked on paragraph. Earlier I have clicked on multiple choice. So this is it. Then what you need to do, you need to click on required. If you want that a responder has to answer this question, you need to click on required. You click on it, right? This is done. Now and similarly you can add other questions also. Now if I want to add any image to my feedback form, I can do that also. Just click on this add image option over here. I can add any image if I want.
Palak another 3 days.
Suppose I do it, I add this image.
Quite a lot. You brought 5.
See, this image is added to
another
the
3
face
days.
of
That's
my
another
feedback form.
another 2 days.
I think this is very much clear.
What we need is,
Hello?
hello?
Yeah.
I just want to ask, if you are doing multiple choice
Yeah.
questions, do we have
Yes.
to give the answer also, which is the correct answer, and will it grade?
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that.
So how do we get graded then? So
I'll
do
tell
we
you,
have
I'll
to
tell you.
mark the correct answer, or we just give the multiple choice questions?
Ma'am, for this purpose, this is just a feedback form. This is just a feedback form, right?
Yeah.
So here you don't have an option of marking a correct answer. They will just send the responses, and then we have to tally it with the correct answers.
That is true. That's I wonder. If it is a multiple choice question.
Yeah. Of course, we have to tally the answers. There is no option of checking it automatically.
No, it's not there.
No. Right?
Yes.
So
Thank
this
you.
is the way we can add a face to our form, and just after that, what we need to do, we have added a face to our feedback form. We have added questions. Then we just need to click on send option, which is just near the settings. I'll click on send. It will ask me an email ID. For example, I write my email ID only. See, this I'll get this via email. I'll click on this send. So this email ID is, this form is sent to my email ID. So when I'm going to see, this is the feedback form I have got on my email ID. I think this is visible. The first email I have received a feedback form. I click on this. I'll get this type of interface over here. I can open this form. I can fill it. Suppose I just go here. How do you rate our service? I click on 10 out of 10. How was the customer service at the resort? Suppose I write it was good. Done. So then I need to click on submit. The feedback is submitted. Then again I go to my drive. See, I told you earlier the responses, how many responses we are going to get. This will be rated over here, 1 2 3 4 5 6. It will come automatically. I'll go to response. I'll click on that. I can find who has responded on my Google form. So this was it. Any more questions?